did you think? Wait. I'll hold it. I'll hold it up.
Ooh, save it.
Save it.
All right, let's do it.
What about my sweat equity? Sweat equity. Sweat equity. My sweat equity. My sweat equity. Sweat equity. What about my sweat equity?
Hotty toddy. Yeah.
Smash button.
Yeah.
I am the polite king. Don't say protecting me.
All right, just smash all of them.
Where is that soundboard, man? You didn't even know it was coming. I'm just gonna hit you. I'm gonna zig when I zag.
It is pretty crazy that you get me every time. I'm
'Cause
paying attention
there's
to
like-
a lot of other things.
There shouldn't be a rush before we start this show, but there is like a little weird rush that we have to like get everything in order and
Yeah.
make sure we're framed correctly and all that.
You had to run here straight from a workout.
I worked
I was
out
sweaty.
in our other part of the office to the Batman score or the Dark Knight Rises score because I'm classy
Yeah.
like that. Let's turn.
Aren't you bored with it?
No, I mean, you get if you're doing a circuit workout. I got kind of dizzy. You guys walked in like 1 minute after I thought I was gonna throw up or pass out.
The veins on your forehead are popping.
Yeah, that's mostly.
Get
I
a
need to
close
drink
up
a
on that.
little bit more water, probably.
It's not going to help for this podcast.
No,
Those things are going to be.
I'm cracking a beer right before the Super Bowl starts. We're recording this Sunday. Sorry to lose the mystique if you're listening to this on Thursday.
Yeah, it'll be Thursday.
But what I was gonna say is how much do you think we lose? Employers lose in productivity because of the Monday after the Super Bowl.
$414 million.
Behind the glass, shout out to our producers John Paul and Joseph. What our in-house producer? What's going on, John Paul? What do you think? I need a guess from you.
Give us a number. He's not.
It's going to be a very low-scoring game. Tom Brady's going to go
Jesus
out.
Christ.
Where do
Are
I
you even
mute
paying
his
attention?
shit?
I hope that's
Why are you here if you're not going to pay attention?
He was rubbing one out.
It's hard.
Well, glad you're a fan.
Wait, so hold on.
Who cares? Forget him.
All
Just
right.
I
414
Yes.
with an M.
Yes.
It's 3 billion. I haven't done this thought in a while, but the day after Super Bowl, we just need to give up, right? It's a federal holiday.
Yeah. They should
just
do it on
that.
a Saturday. Super Bowl Saturday.
That's my gripe with the national championship for college football. They change it to a Monday inexplicably.
I know.
And everybody goes, well, the NFL has, they have those Saturday playoff games. It's like, the NFL has a free fucking AAA system
Yeah.
from the college football.
No, they're doing it because
And they play on Saturday the whole
nobody else
season.
is doing it.
Yeah.
That's why they're doing it.
That makes me irritated. Same with the Final Four, the last game's on a Monday.
We're going to start at 10:49 p.m.
Yeah.
Eastern Time.
Cool, thanks.
Great. I guess I'll read about it
And then you
tomorrow.
live on the West Coast. When I did, it was like you had to run home.
Football starts at 11 a.m.
I lived in
after
LA.
brunch.
The traffic's an hour, even though I live 2 miles away.
Yeah.
It's madness, man. But I've done the corporate gig. I've done this mom and pop gig. I'm doing what we're doing now, which is entrepreneurial. You make your own hours, except you really don't.
Because they're all the hours, always.
They're all the hours, or you're so
I make my own hours.
You're so client appeasing that you just gotta, like a realtor, you have to work when you have to work.
Yeah. You can't not answer the phone.
I never really thought about that until recently. Like a lot of people do the realtor as a backup job,
Yeah.
like or a cosmetologist,
Yeah.
a hairstylist.
Good luck with that.
But it's like
Ugh.
both of those are kind of like
I have no free time.
are like
Ever.
if I was excelling at either of those occupations, I'd be mad that people think of that as like a backup job.
Yeah, really.
You know, because
I'm a backup biochemical engineer
that would have such
in my free time.
I'm a backup stem cell engineer. Yeah.
Kind of like what I said the first time.
Scientist. Is that what he said?
Yeah, you copied me big time.
I copied you big time.
Do I need to hit another button?
I'm just saying, like, realtor is a really tough job because the internet really closes the gap of you having a big advantage. Back in the day, you know when shit's coming out on the market. Now people show up with cash because of Zillow.
Yeah. Get that Zestimate. It says here right online.
So it's that thing of like the Super Bowl the day after. Let's just get over it. It's in February now. We can add another. Like, really, it's racist to not have another day. If you think about it, for black people.
Why? Wait, what?
Wait, we give them. There's a Black History Month. Why isn't there a Black History Day? Federal holiday.
Yeah.
Kind of racist.
Isn't Martin Luther King Jr. Day?
That's a respect day.
Oh.
I was about to say another day.
Black Holiday.
That sounds like a good Tyler Perry movie.
Tyler Perry's Black Holiday.
I bet he has a play called that
Plays
or something.
7 parts.
It's now playing in Atlanta, sold out until November.
This is a very.
Are you nervous?
It's a little. It's a bit touchy.
We have President's Day. Why not just mash up President's Day and make it not an actual
Obama Day.
number day, and just push it forward, whatever the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you have your opinions, you put them out there, and then just put your name on it, and just yours, and then leave mine off.
Law Smith.
Don't put the podcast name or our business name or any of that shit. Just Law Smith.
All right, I'll do that right now. Here, I'll look into the camera and do it.
Yeah, good.
You want to give me a solo?
Yeah, well,
so
get me out of there.
Law Smith, me, I'm for not being racist, unlike Eric. And I want a Black History Day that's a federal holiday. Should be the day after Super Bowl. Thank you.
How am I the racist now?
Look at you.
Okay, you flipped that around. I was stepping away because you were the one that was getting a little bit touchy.
No, I'm not. You got PC.
Really set this up.
This room is safe space for free speech.
For now, until this goes out.
What do you mean? I'm not. Well, I haven't said anything wrong.
No, I know. I'm just giving you a hard time.
Don't worry about it. Look, you can. It's one of those things where if I was really racist, I couldn't make racist jokes. Like, I'm not like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's also, I always see it on stage from like amateur comics. That's like, you can. It's not a funny joke because you feel like they really are racist.
Yeah.
Like there's a tone, there's a style.
Like, well, I'm on stage, so I can say it now. I can say everything now. That's the thing. And then it's like, we can just tell.
Plus, there is a card I can play that says I have interracial babies.
Yeah.
But Asian doesn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
Does it? Why?
I don't know.
Because
they're so smart.
They're kicking ass in the United States?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It's weird. It's weird how we shouldn't be PC about that, but we are.
Yeah. It counts. We're going to count it in the census, but it doesn't
forget about Japanese internment camps and stuff like that. I wonder why that is.
Well, nobody knows what that is.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Let's move on. It kind of transitions.
I really can't, though.
It transitions right. It segues right into it. Segues like a fat cop right into the next thing.
I can't wait to see how you segue Japanese internment camps into entrepreneurial business talk. Go.
See, you weren't even listening. I was talking about production.
You're right. I wasn't listening. Go ahead. Give it to me.
So the employers thing got me thinking. 3 billion lost. A lot of people call in. I remember you had a corporate position as well.
Mm-hmm.
More salesy, right? I don't want to mention
I
the
did half.
unless you don't want to.
Well, I did about half sales, and then later on, I moved into management. And then it was like internal auditing.
So sales always means like, to me, I always chalk that up as like kind of flexible schedule, kind of not.
Yes, exactly.
Like it's like the realtor thing. Like you're always on call.
Yeah, the harder you work, the more likely you are to have a positive outcome.
There's the inside sales where the leads are already given to you, kind of thing. You sit in the office.
God.
Well, you're rolling calls mostly. It's just a nice.
Yeah, but it's phone calls all day.
Well, if you listen to the last episode, we kind of talked about using video to maybe save some time, maybe be more efficient, and like communicate your message a little bit better.
It definitely does, even compared to a phone call where it's just your voice. Having that face-to-face sort of thing going on really helps.
With Zoom.us, it's not a sponsor. I just like I like them for all of the ones out there because it'll record for you automatically, and it integrates with my favy Otter.ai,
and it's free.
Well, yeah, it's free. The premium, you got to pay $15 to have the cloud storage stuff. But I like having that if I'm on my game. Eventually, we'd have an assistant be doing some of this stuff, but pull the video of the meeting, send it to them in a Vimeo, private Vimeo.
Yeah.
And that, because we go over so much with people sometimes that, hey, I'll tell them, hey, we're going to go fast, but we're going to record this. So
there's always that reference to go back to.
Yeah, and even I, there's no real template of going over everybody's business, so it's kind of it helps me.
Yeah, for sure. There's you have these meetings, and if they're an hour long, if you're not taking diligent notes, there's a lot of stuff that gets lost.
I think a lot about that. What's ironic is I used to schedule meetings where you do an hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I started looking at the agile way of conducting meetings. You ever heard of that?
No.
So there's a lot of project management process methodologies, or kind of just how your company goes by. There's you've heard Lean or Six Sigma. These are kind of those floating words that are optimize or brand or just
sure.
stuff you hear all the
Synergy.
time. That you have to act like you know exactly what it means. Waterfall is another methodology. There's a lot of ways to. Your business should have picked one.
Yeah.
If
pick one bullshit.
If we're doing an audit of
push.
your company, I want to see if I can tailor it so we go, how do you work? What's the best way you work? Because that's going to help us.
Yeah.
Most people haven't picked one because they don't know they need to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. Nobody has a business plan.
I'll try to find this. When we used Rike for about 3 minutes before we went over to Asana, Rike is still good, WRIKE. They actually have really good information about this stuff, really baby steps on methodologies.
Yeah?
So I'm pulling it up right now.
It's a good thing we abandoned it.
Well, the information's still there.
Ooh.
So choosing your project methodology, I'm not going to get too in the weeds because this definitely is not my strong suit right now as far as, being an expert to talk about it in in depth, but philosophically you have a way of working.
Yeah.
So I think
it's hard to put into words what a lot of how you work. A lot of people don't just work. They don't think about how they're working,
Well, as a company, what's best, not what's best. I don't have to glom the way that works for me, right? Onto
sure.
the company. It should be what's best for the company first, and then as the owner. This is bringing up football. We talk about this all the time. It's weird when coaches they become a new head coach of a football team. They have some stud players.
They'll trade them away.
Yeah, they're using them incorrectly.
Yeah.
They can't adjust.
Yeah.
Their way or the highway. There's something to it.
It applies to both individuals and the company itself.
Any kind of management that's going to happen, right?
Especially a startup, something that's not established.
Yeah, a startup.
They don't know how they're working because you don't know what the best way to do it is.
Yeah, and this show's audience, we mostly are talking to what I call immature businesses under 5 years, startups, or people that want to start.
Did you come in it?
You're being immature.
Dope.
I'm gonna get it in every time.
Yeah.
Ram it in, no lube.
No wonder my parents don't listen to this anymore. So I think it's interesting to do that. We'll put this link in the blog post on sweatequitypod.com from Rike that'll show you what to pick out. But I'm just saying, agile meetings, they're 20-minute meetings.
Ooh,
I
like the sound of that.
Here's the deal, though, right? So before, I would do an hour meeting. I'd block off an hour, and no matter what, a lot of the time they went over that.
Oh, yeah.
And so
every time.
So here's the agile way of doing it. You will spend an hour if you are the coordinator, but it gets easier. So you spend 20 minutes before, the day before, and you write out the meeting agenda. 20 minutes is a meeting. You send them the agenda beforehand so they can think about it too. So you actually get better information as far as a meeting.
Yeah, nobody does that. Writes out the agenda for a meeting.
No one. We used to.
Well, it's not just us. Most people they don't think about the meeting until 15 minutes beforehand. Make sure they get the mustard off their shirt, and then it's meeting time.
This is definitely an enterprise level kind of way of doing things for sure, no doubt. This is if we had more grunts, I would love it, but it is doable because at the end of the day, it's 60 minutes versus what actually happened in that 1 hour meeting that we used to do.
Yeah.
That was 90, and then we didn't get everything, and you're scrambling. It's that thing of planning ahead of time. It actually makes it efficient.
It does send a message that it's like, hey, I'm trying to do it in this amount of time, so let's kind of stay on task if we can. Because that's a big thing. It's like a lot of people want to hang out.
Well, yeah, and we want to hang out too. We're very much
that's the thing, and we'll buy into it right away.
But it's shooting us in the foot.
I know.
I mean, there's times to hang. We're not there yet to where we can dictate our own schedule.
Yeah,
like that. And so my thing is, 20 minutes. You can send a form if you're going to ask some questions, almost like what we should do for our guests that come on the show.
Yeah.
What do you want to promote?
I know it's the same way. We do the same thing with the meetings.
And then you get all you might get the answers back before you meet.
Mm-hmm.
So you can digest it too. That's the best. And then it is like you're not wasting any time. They can do it while they're doing other things.
Plus the meeting or podcast itself is better.
And then post meeting, you do like right at the end of the meeting. All right, what are the next steps? That's the one I forget a lot of times. What are we doing?
Yeah. What do we talk about that we want to take action on?
And when's our next date? Right.
Yeah.
First date went really
Friday?
well.
What are you doing Friday?
I'm thinking of going to that place, the arcade with the pizza place.
Oh, well, I'm busy, so.
Okay. I'll have a pepperoni by myself, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Play the Simpsons arcade game.
I'm not pushing any buttons to save you either.
Save me from what? My soul?
Mm-hmm.
I'm by myself.
The quietest it's ever been.
The quietest improv of all time.
Whisper prov.
So I think that's interesting on saving time because the corporate environment.
It goes back to like the waking up early sort of thing.
Right.
Where it's like time at 4 a.m. time slows down. It's like you get more done. If I leave the house at 4:15 compared to 4:17, that time later in the day, for some reason, that turns into about 7 minutes per 2 minutes or whatever. It's just this weird thing that happens to when you prepare for something. It's incredibly efficient if you know what you want to talk about ahead of time.
We were riffing about this earlier this morning, but it was and then you tell people, hey, this is the way I want to do it, and they go, oh man, that sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
And you're like, don't do that.
Yeah, it's like, well, that's
I know
how
it's
it
a
would
lot.
have gone. It's
any change I tell you, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I don't need someone going, oh God, why are you doing all that?
Well, something has to get done.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's like,
what did you think was going to happen?
It must be tough hanging out with the kids, all day.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, no, but don't put it in my head because part of me. I still have the lazy kid in high school, the C+ student.
This is tough.
Yeah, it'll be like
bullshit.
Yeah, and then you get pity party, victimizing yourself stuff, and it's like
nobody cares.
I have to tell people like I'm not strong enough for that voice not to creep in.
Yeah,
because I want to be David Goggins and go, don't say that shit.
It doesn't matter. They're still going to say it later down the road. It's going to keep coming.
Yeah, I know. It's inevitable. I'm not saying like I'm never going to listen to anybody say that ever again. I'm just saying, like, what is that? What is that impulse? It's not empathy.
Yeah.
It's a weird empathy if it is.
Weird sympathy.
It's
projected empathy.
Compassion, in a way,
I think you were saying that it's just like how they would react in that situation.
Yeah, that's
sort of thing.
Right.
It's just like, well, you don't know. It's not your kids, so you don't really have that undying love that you have to have. I do have it voluntarily.
I've had a weird amount of people talk to me about the one episode we did. I went over the schedule I wanted to have.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I actually did it. I was saying this is the one I'm going for eventually, right? 4 a.m. If you go back about probably 10, 12 episodes, it's somewhere in there.
It's all a blur.
But it's that thing of like, hey, I'm not doing that yet. But that sounds like a lot for you.
Yeah.
Right? Me slacking y'all in the morning about stuff we got to go on, that's under project management, right? Internally, that sounds like heavy.
Yeah,
but it's really just us going, okay, when are we meeting to do the pod? Topics.
Yeah,
and honestly, if I was diligent about that, the show might be better.
Yeah, we're not putting it on a pedestal. It's like when you think of it as this big thing, it's like,
right?
Oh, jeez, gotta do project management today. It's gonna suck.
Yeah,
it's like
same with admin.
Yeah, all that.
Clerical.
Yeah.
We hate all of that.
Yeah. But why?
But I just started knocking it out. While the Super Bowl's on, I'm probably going to have to do some of that work.
QuickBooks.
Yeah, I got to do that.
Or freshbooks.com/.
It's
Sweat.
wait. It's
Try FreshBooks.
gofreshbooks.com.
Try Go
We'll-
FreshBooks.
We'll do the pre-roll that we keep saying we're going to do.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah, we need to do that.
Yeah.
We talk about it too much. Now it's we got to do it.
Yeah, we'll do it.
So my thing is, I had a full-time gig come my way, a really good opportunity. I would keep doing what we're doing.
Mhm.
Here at Tokubaga, here with Sweat Equity. I always have to preface because it's a corporate gig,
Right.
and I preface everything with I want to get it. Like I want to do it.
Yeah.
I
If
need to
they'll
make
have
more
you.
money, and that's working capital.
Yeah.
I can do both.
Yeah.
So my thing is like I'm gonna try. I'm trying to. I think it would be a good fit, like just by the vibe I've had with 2 interviews.
Yeah,
But-
seems like it.
There's a lot of positions that, and they may listen to this. I hope they do. I told them to.
Oh.
I said, hey, if you want to see what I'm about, look, it's really hard to bullshit your way through hours. Of
Yeah.
this. Like you can really see what I'm about. I told them straight up, I like dirty humor. That's how I roll.
Can we be grown-ups about it?
I know.
We can move on.
I know when to do it in a meeting or not. Usually not.
Yeah.
I won't be the one making jokes because you're not hiring someone to make jokes.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I get a lot of like, you do stand up, and you're like, you're
Just-
not hiring me to
Yeah.
be your fucking clown.
Just because I'm a stand-up doesn't mean I just talk out of line and act up all the time.
And I'm like,
Oh, Law's cracking his jokes over there again. Let's let him finish.
I'm one of the more like gregarious off-stage comics. All the other ones I'm friends with are introverts.
Yeah.
and can't talk to anybody.
Yeah.
They're like fucking weirdos.
Yeah. Real weird.
Well,
so weird.
Stand-up's masquerading a conversation, but it's a one-way thing.
Yeah.
You're doing a monologue essentially.
Yeah.
But
Gives the introverts a time to speak uninterrupted.
this is a real conversation. It's a little heightened, but it's closer to a real conversation. It's very focused. But I'm saying, what I was saying was, I'd like for this position to be flexible because it's not because I want to like go surfing.
Yeah.
It's because I want to be the flexible parent that is there when the kids are sick, which happens a lot when they're little.
Yeah.
Digital, really more importantly, that anything digital position-wise, it's going to be tough to tell me that it should be 9 to 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, we were talking about it last time, just having an office. It's like, if it's digital, you can do it off-site. Might not be the best situation, but every time, time to time, it's good to do it away from things.
But the blessing and the curse of the internet is that it's 24/7,
Yeah.
right? Which means your coverage. What's your coverage?
Yeah. And people are like, why isn't it done?
Well,
It's been 48 hours.
why aren't our ads killing it yet? You're like,
Right.
wait a minute. You have no budget.
Yeah.
We're doing what we can sometimes.
It's an algorithm.
But it changes all the time.
Mm.
But what I'm saying is, if you're a doctor or an attorney, in a lot of ways, attorneys have hours. Your appointment hours.
Mm-hmm.
But you're a DUI attorney. You're getting calls all the time,
Oh,
especially if you're just
definitely
starting out.
late night is most of your calls.
Right, and people don't. In the beginning, when you're little, when you're a small business, people don't want to talk to an answering service.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
I mean, we've talked about that with the dental practice.
yeah,
Just having people. I mean, you
your
lose it.
coverage.
If it's a voicemail message, people just, especially if your teeth are hurting, I got to get this done now. I can't talk to a voicemail and wait for a call back.
Well, there's a balance with that too. It's like the weird hours. Maybe you do the chatbot thing where it's decision tree on your website.
Yeah.
So it looks like you're talking to them.
Optimally, yeah.
Because a lot of people don't know, honestly. Same with
Yeah.
Facebook Message. You can do it with that too.
Yeah. Well, that's all well and good, but the people that kind of turn away from the people that make that sort of decision, they're making phone calls. They're not hopping on the internet usually.
Yeah, they're trying to get
Old
opiates
people is what I'm
out of
talking
you.
about. Old people are very finicky.
Sure. Yeah, if they call, they want it.
Yeah.
It's not like they're shopping around for dentists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want that. They want to feel special.
I'm just saying, like
the good old days.
kind of like an ER doctor too. Like you kind of in this work, you kind of spin a lot of plates, right? And so you're mitigating risk in a lot of ways all the time. So what you're doing for a client, you're trying to make sure you're not doing anything too risky on their behalf
Oh,
until you
definitely.
talk to someone.
Yeah.
Until you talk to someone at the corporation you're working for as, contracted work. And then the other part is like, there's a weird thing where people freak out over like comments, a bad review.
Yeah.
They'll hit you up.
Yeah.
Uh,
I didn't write that, right?
right. And so like we go, hey, we could do some things where those things won't post until a certain time.
Yeah.
There's ways to do it. I'm just saying.
But also, don't fuck up your shit.
I think it's
Don't mess up.
I think it's interesting when we look at the corporate positions now, and more things are going to be remote. We're not that good at communicating.
No.
Your big enterprise company, you probably got it locked down. No doubt. Like they'll have like passwords on your keychain, like a little keychain with like almost like a pager looking kind of like screen that'll give you a password to log into your computer.
Oh, it's generating it every time?
Maybe every day, every login.
I need to watch more Mr. Robot. They explain all of it.
Or your face recognition to unlock the computer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they also have ways of watching people on the computers they give you.
Of course.
Remotely. But I think this whole gig economy we kind of live in a lot of the time, because essentially we're just a bigger freelancer as a company.
Sure. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like, now we take everything seriously, and we have the business like kind of da-da-da-da-da-da.
We're flexible.
Well, all right. What is it? QCDF?
Yes.
For pricing for projects, everything falls into that criteria.
Yeah, you forgot the F.
Yeah,
before.
I didn't know there was an F, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
Quality, cost, delivery, and then the F is feral cats.
Fart.
Got you guys. It's not feral cats. It's I thought you were gonna hit a sound. You faked me out.
Hit a button.
Dude, you just did like you just did the pickup basketball move where you get the rebound, you fake like you're going back up.
Yeah.
And then I totally just
Yeah,
whiffed.
you're laying on my back
whiffed.
right now.
Yeah. Just sweaty.
Just waiting for you to fall down, scrape your knee.
My N1 name is Hot Mayo. So the thing is flexibility, F, QCDF. Especially when you're a contractor and you're hiring a contractor, you need to think of that criteria.
Yeah. Do we factor it into the price? How do you do a flexibility quotient?
Yeah, you do. So flexibility can be part of that. I would put we talk about the client coefficient internally. I'll put it out there. If we have a feeling the client's going to be a pain in the ass, that falls into the flexibility, right?
Yeah.
Because that means we're flexible enough to deal with it just energy-wise.
Yeah.
More like morale.
Yeah.
Because you can get this, like, you're always explaining shit and, like, all the time. And
it gets to
over and over and over again.
And I can't even point.
I think we have good EQs, so we can kind of, like, you can kind of feel it a little bit off of someone that's going to be a micromanager from afar, but not really.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's people that are like, oh, I'm a perfectionist. It's like, I saw your car.
And that means I swoop in at the end and complain a lot.
So, yeah, that means I'm a micromanager that doesn't know how to micromanage. Really?
Yeah.
I mean.
Well, micromanage me then.
So flexibility is like, we'll tolerate that amount. We'll tolerate if things aren't in, so we'll pad the time.
Yes.
So they all are dynamic to each other, too.
Yes, our clients do have things that they need to get back to us. It's not just us putting out stuff to them.
And if you think we're talking about agency client model, you can extrapolate that out to your life. I mean, this happens when you try to parent your kids. It's just kind of management in general, right?
Yeah.
Your kids are 6 and 3.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, okay, let's say you have to make a decision if they're going to private school or not, right?
Yeah, not till middle school.
Yeah, but it's that thing of like, right? Okay, why'd you say till middle school?
I don't want to say.
I'm saying there's that criteria. It's kind of in that too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, right now elementary schools are all kind of the same, so
right.
Finger painting, whatever.
Look,
how hard could it be?
I dissuade going to where I went to high school. I won't say by name, but I'm saying I got lower grades because it was harder.
Yeah.
They only went up to 4.0.
Yeah. Like the normals, us. 4.0, not that 6.4 bullshit. I
go to football banquets and this freaking D tackle has a 6.8, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
That's not a GPA.
Yeah. It's his height.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are we at?
I don't know.
I'm trying to read.
No, there's not. You can't read that.
31.
Nah, it's got a lot of fat on the
Is
front.
that John Paul? Is that 31? One of my eyes is 2015.
Ooh,
Yeah.
regular Ted Williams over here,
Should've
fighter
been-
pilot.
Should have been a pilot.
It's 31.
Yeah, but you got.
Oh my God!
I want to talk more.
Warby Parker, baby,
We had all
fixing my eyes.
It's not 31.
Warby Parker trial.
John Paul just said he had to poop. That's why he wants to leave.
You're gonna go back and look at the edit on this, and you're gonna edit it to make your point. But that was 31. I'm literally.
I'll just cut out all
it's
of you
so
talking.
small across the room.
No, I believe you that it says 31 on the thing. Point is that we record a little bit beforehand, and that fat.
Oh,
is
that's not a
one.
runtime.
No.
Oh.
Well, I don't know. John Paul was paying attention, I hope. All right, whatever. At this point, there's no coming back from it. We got to get out of here.
What?
2-minute warning.
All right.
Boom, I'll just keep doing it over and over again. That was a sped up 2-minute warning.
Eric,
2-second
Eric's on his
warning.
period. He's losing it. You know when you're a little kid and your friend lost a game.
I'm
and
the
you're
one who
like-
wanted to talk more.
Yeah,
How does that make me periodic?
you're a period piece. No, you're the kid that you go over to the kid's house. You stay over. He's the kid who has a lot of stuff. You know,
What?
and then he's like loses in his own game that he plays all the time.
Mhm.
And you're like, it's not that big of a deal. And he's like, okay, let's do something else.
It's a big deal to me.
Or let's keep playing.
All right. Got anything else you want to talk about?
All the time. But in a minute, I'm verbose, man. In a minute, let's just say, hey, why don't you go on, give us the cheat code to help this show out. If you don't go to our sponsors, go to iTunes or Apple Podcasts. Give us a 5-star review. Ask us a question. Send in any questions. Go to sweatequitypod.com.
That's all of it.
Likely to hear it on air. Or
Or not.
you want to get us a good guest?
We'll forget.
Throw it out there.
Yeah. Hook it up. What about it?
Billy Corbin, I want to see you.